Alright, so this video is on simplifying fractions. And simplifying a fraction means when you simplify a fraction, let me auto focus there. When you simplify a fraction, you are just putting the fraction into the lowest term possible. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, let's work with 1/2. Okay, so if I have a fraction 1/2, okay, 1/2 is the same as 2/4, right? Okay, and it's also the same as 4/8. Okay, it's also the same as 8/16, and so forth. Okay, so all of these are equivalent to 1/2, but the lowest possible form is this right here. Okay, this is simplified. Okay, so when you have answered a problem with a fraction and you're left with something like, I don't know, 5/15, okay, you have to ask yourself, can I simplify that? So, and what you're really asking is there a number that both the numerator and the denominator are divisible by. Okay, and in this case, I think you can see that both 5 and 15 can be divided by 5. Okay, and just like you can multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number and have an equivalent fraction, you can divide them both by the same number because it's just like dividing by 1. Okay, and so 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 15 divided by 5 is 1/3. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try 8 and 24. 8/24. Okay. Now, sometimes you look at that and you might go, well, they're both divisible by 2, and that is true. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 24 divided by 2 is 12. But then I look at that and I realize, oh, these are also both divisible by 4, right? Okay, so 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, so I have some extra steps there, right? Whereas if I had noticed that 24 is a multiple of 8, then I could have just started by doing 8 divided by 8 is 1, 24 divided by 8 is 1/3. But it doesn't really matter, like you get to the same answer either way. Okay, so if it takes you a couple of tries to simplify, then don't worry about it. Let's try one more, and let's see, 14 divided by 20, or 14/28. Okay, and you might just notice that both of those are multiples of 7. Okay, so 14 divided by 7 is 2. 28 divided by 7 is 4. Oh, and then I notice both of those are even numbers, so they can both be divided by 2. So 1/2. Okay, and then I realized, oh yeah, 14 times 2 is 28, so yeah, 1/2. So if you can do it in one step, that's great, but if you can't, don't stress out over it. But just make sure that when you're done, you have the lowest term possible.